be live now with the 10th episode. Alright, there we go. Fresh. Start. There we go. Alright, there we go. Okay, it's connected to the one, two. Okay, well, I'm ready now. So, I figured something out. We can use GLM and tram, and then we can use GLM and translate, I think it's called. Then we can use GLM. Oh, that's a function. I don't know what that's meant to return, but let's just go GLM translate. And I don't know what argument it's going to take, but let's just have it return GLM translate, which should, in this case, it returns I assume that's what we need to do, right, to move objects. Yeah, you can just translate. So we need the object, right? So I assume what we need is the const GLM translate. No. 4x4 and call it, what is the template? T. The template in this case is the template is the thing they want to use, but I don't exactly know what we want to pass through here. So let's see. I mean, I guess technically we could just ask for the transform. I assume it's the yeah, I think it's similar to that. And then after that, go and ask for the vector free that we want. So go and now we can pass for the transform and the good way. Alright, we need to go we need to create a GLM vec free. So we need to pass through vec. We could also just call it vec free. The x, y, I assume the transform is the problem. Yeah, transform is the problem. So how exactly do we use the translate function? It's just a question now. Translate. This is transformations, the thing that we just stepped into. So let's see if we were to yeah, here we go. Translate. We'll require the transformation, which in this case should be of GL mat4. That is what we have. And then fact3, which is what we have. But it does not have a return type. That's the problem. Because this thing requires, yeah. So in this case, we need a yeah, that makes this valid. Good. Alright, here we go. Now we just need to go and add mat. I know that this is how you do scale stuff. Standard mat4. In this case, we can just call it translate. These are the arguments. We don't need to call it for that. That's what we want. Technically, this is unnecessary because we don't need them for these parameters here. Although we do need mat4, but the rest is unnecessary. So we might remove that later. And that's that code. There. Now we can go into our main. And in this case, this is actually unnecessary code. We don't need that. And we can go transform is equal to mat translate pass for the transform and then a vector. I really should make this into a class. And let's just pass through, like, I don't know how exactly you do this. You pass through integers to handle that. Just do 0.0 1.0 actually 0.0 and then we just go ahead. This should translate the cube. Okay, that does move them, so that works. That does allow us to move the cubes around. So if we go, let's say 0.0f and 1.0f, I want to know where this gets us to. Okay, this gets the cube to spawn here. What happened to the other one, I can't tell you. I don't know. The other one is just gone now. Did I remove it from spawning or what? No, it should spawn, right? If I go 0, 0, and that should just spawn in like the bottom, right? Oh yeah, then both of them appear. Don't know what happens to the other one. But they both don't share the same, they share the same program, that's why. So it sets the same program. We could technically, yeah, they're both colors, so it should work. So technically we can modify the position now. I do wonder what happens if we go above 1F though. Oh, then they just disappear. Well, it's still nice. Well, how we can use this to do stuff with is a good question. At least we can move them around now. Which is nice, but that's about it. So we can move the objects around with the translate, which I'm going to rename to transform, or position. Instead of it being called rotate scale, it's called position. This will modify its position. So now you can go call this function to modify its position. And then also I will remove these functions up here, as these are necessary for code. We don't need them in this case, due to the fact that nothing here uses it. This handles translating it into a new position. I still don't know exactly what it does, but I assume we can give a 0.5f or something like that. And this should just modify the position. Yeah, there you go. You can see how it's there now. I guess it goes off the screen when you go due to that reason. So this should handle moving it around on the screen. Meaning we could have something that allowed you to modify the object position. So if we have a object, this is for object position, we could just have a static float is equal to, and then go. And then afterwards go if GUI window dot, and in this case we need a color edit. Can we not have a normal edit? Isn't that just like a normal edit that does not have color? So let me go UI API. Here we go. That is for 1.77. That should be fine. Main. Solve the stuff that we didn't really care about. Styles, begin, end, get window position. When do we get into the actual stuff though? We get to modify stuff. Oh, widgets, here we go. What I'm mainly interested in is the slider free. That will create a slider that has what's the difference between these? Got the normal slider, then you got the second slider, then you got the next slider. What is the difference between the sliders? Oh, it determines how many there should be. Alright, that's fine, we can do that. So in this case, I assume we need a slider 2 in this case. As the last parameter will always just be 0, 0 in this case, although we can include it just for testing. Dot slider float free. Go oh yeah, and then go comma object position, and then go. We don't actually need to modify these in any way, which is nice. We can just use our existing knowledge here to modify its position. In this case, we can just use map position, and then we can really quickly create a transform based on this. So maybe we should really quickly create a transform. No, don't build, it's going to resolve errors. Yeah. let's create a transform. Let's go past the transform. Then let's go through vector 3. Oh yeah, the slider 3 vector 3. And then let's just go object position 0, 1, and finally object position 2. That's it. Then after this we can go instead of transform equal to that. And let me look, you go and update the UI. Where's the UI? GUI window. Slider. Load 3. Contra label. Value. And there's a couple of other parameters too, and then the of course contra format, which is equal to now all we need to do is just copy this. We'll figure out what other parameters that we need. Let's just go up here to where we create our GUI stuff. Go cool GUI window. Wide up to the 3, go pass this through. Go. And then just return flip 3 label, and this would be the value of each of them, right? So we'll just go new float 3 minus 1.0f and max value 1.0f, and the format is not really needed. Oh, it should do what we wanted to do. Oh yeah, in this case actually we need to pass through the in this case this would need to be values, right? What? Value. Didn't it want anyway to be passed through? Yeah, it wants just pass through the values. Then we'll change this to free, call it values. Why is this not valid? Expected? Where? I mean, I can define new. Well, what does it want me to do here in this case? How did it do it here? Yeah, oh, I know. Values. That's because if I C++ does this. Values. Stupid. And these ones should be the max value, and this one should be the value. Then of course the format. That's it. If this works, we should now be able to modify everything. So we'll go this is the object position, that's its default value. Min value should be minus 1.0. Formatted. And after we're done with this, we will just go and modify the object. I mean, the object position will be modified by default, so it doesn't matter. Now we'll then pass through. So we'll pass through the this one. And if this works correctly, it should now allow us to change the oh wait, what? Ignore left of map window variable. Oh, I think I know why. Function definition for slow. Oh, I know what. Gotta copy this. But it changed it slightly, so that's why. Done. For the last one, I don't exactly know what that means, but scroll down to the bottom where we have that. Everything is static. Let's see here. Matt, you don't need to specify if they're static or not. Alright. Warning. Wow. I literally just copied the code from here. Oh, here we go, that's why. I gotta delete this. Redefinition of argument parameter 1. Oh, I know why it's calling such an error. Yeah, not here. It's because I remember what I did. Yep, here we go. Remove that. Fixed. At least it should stop throwing that error. I can have first one error. Everything somewhat works. Object scale works. For object position, it seems to become up and down works. But this icon does not have an impact. So everything works. You can move up, down, left, right. Yeah, I wonder, will this do something? No, it'll just disappear because of the size of the window. So yeah, everything works. Oh, it didn't exit with any errors. Oh, that's good. Everything works, but it does give us one more. I mean, it's not like it matters much, does it? What is this? Yeah, but I mean, always initialize a member variable. We can ignore that. Let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. It's just not display any warnings. Because to be honest with you, I don't care about the warnings. Warnings generally are not that important. I don't need to understand them. So yeah, GLM mat4 is all we really need. And that's it. Everything works. We can modify their position, and that's it. So yeah, I guess we're done with that now. We can also close the Learn OpenGL and go back and start working on coordinate systems now. Now, when it comes to creating a camera, it's actually quite straightforward, and we can create a small camera class here. I've done something like this before. Okay, so first of all, I will need to redo part of this, so this should be the internal API. I'm going to rename it to internal cubic, as it is going to be the internal cubic API. We don't want it to be here if it's not internal, but essentially what we need to do is that we need to have something that can draw stuff and so on. But really quickly, let me just show you what an actual thing could look like. Can we rename some of these files? What? Oh, played these ones. That's why. Where's the C++ projects? Cubic engine. Go. Rename cubic. We don't need this file anymore. We can just delete it. Cubic. Name it internal underscore cubic. When it comes to the header file, we'll do the same thing, as this is what the internal engine should use. So let's go. Just go and delete these, remove header files, add existing item, internal cubic.h, go main, go import internal, internal cubic.h, and then right click, go add internal cubic. Let's see. So what we'll have is that we'll have our loop here that should handle everything, and then we'll have some scripts elsewhere. So everything will be handled by the new thing that we will need to use now. And I can show you guys. We'll create a new thing called cubic.h, which will contain, or actually I should probably create them within the file. So go right click. Cubic.h and cubic.cpp. And these two files will contain the new code for all of our objects and so on. Add existing item cubic.h, right click, add existing item cubic.cpp. There we go. And that's it. We get the internal ones and we get the external ones. Everything should run fine. Why did it fail? Oh, did we include the internal ones? We did. Yeah, I don't know why it's failing anymore. Oh, that's because if I go into the internal cubic.cpp, you can't include it because it's actually called internal. Done. I did switch my language. There we go. Everything works quickly now. So I don't know why they don't appear by default, but I assume it's because their position is set to 0, and we probably want their position to be set to, like, I don't know, something else than 0. So what I want to do now, before we go and do that right now, is that I want to go inside here, and I want to go, and this is going to be our header, so I want to go into our main file and go #include cubic.h, and so we'll do it this way. Then afterwards I will quickly go and rename our cubic docs to have the internal. This will be the internal documentation, so go call it internal cubic docs, and then we'll have the cubic docs. Done indeed. And that should be it. I think that's all I really need to do. Can I add a file to our existing ones? We got cubic docs here. Let me go add an existing item. Internal cubic docs as well. There we go. Then go over here. Alright. So let's see. We also need to really quickly go in and remove a few things. We can add the we can add an more slider float as having a public bool slider float free. And we can just copy the parameters because they're practically the same. Actually, that's slightly different. Let me go into we don't need this to be open right now. We need our internal cubic to be open right now. And our internal cubic, that's it. And what we need to do is just go and scroll down until we find actually scroll up, it's higher up than this. Here we go. Just go copy these. Let's not go past this through. And of course set this one equal to oh wait, this one as well. Is this what is it by default equal to? I can't tell. 3. So that's fully clear. Go back and update the documentation. So equal to that's what that meant to be equal to. And after that, I mean, oh wait, this parameters one as well. It should be this. And I mean, this is practically the same stuff, so there's no reason really to do much here. Besides that, oh yeah, this is different. It's now called values, so it's now float values 3. Of the slider free widget. That's it. To display next to the slider free widget. There we go. So that should be it for now. For other things that we've also managed to do is that we've managed to we've removed a couple of things here from the I can't find where we have our mat. Did we write the mat? We did write mat somewhere here. I remember. Isn't there like a section replace? That section replace. I know there is. Oh, find and replace. It's called find. Quick find. GL. No. Oh, here we go. I found it. That was easy. What we need to do. Oh. It took me to here. Well, it could be higher up, to be honest with you. I don't know where I put it. No, it's not the high. It's high. Can I bring the search and find again? GLM. Let's go current document. Really? What else could we have called it? Let's see, scale should be here. No, it's not here. Really? I guess that we never added that to the documentation. Well, what should it be in the documentation? It should be right under the texture section. So if I go in here, we have the texture. Yeah, we don't have anything here. So we should probably have a class mat. And then we should call it that's what it does. Then we should have a public static GLM mat4 and this takes the parameters of x. In this case, I don't remember exactly what this does. It creates a transformation. That's what it does. Medium. That's what it does, and then it's would be a const float x. Then afterwards, what returns, and it returns a matrix. Right, that's what returns. It returns a matrix, right? Let's see here, scroll down so I can remember. mat4. This should return this high precision mat4. This should return a transform a matrix. So what exactly do we actually pass through here? Let me go back here. So for matrices, so we got our let's see. It's called or transformation. So this will create a transformation. Good. Returns a transformation. That's what returns. Alright, next. So the next thing that we have is a public static mat4, which is the position it requires a const. What does it require? A const. This is the parameters. and its params are const and const vector free. Well, we should make that into a class at some point. Free. And finally, we have public. Oh yeah, we gotta really let to type in the return. Returns the fired transfer. Next up, we get a public static map4 rotate. So we get the position, and now we get rotate, which requires, I think, the same parameters, right? Except instead it's a const float now, if I remember correctly. Yeah, for rotation it's a float degrees, and then a wait, free, what other things? A const vector or free vec free. Should be float degrees. Float. And then afterwards we want to go and then afterwards we have the, no, we get just float. To rotate the and finally const back free. I don't actually know what this does, so I'll leave a comment on this one for now. Then finally we have a public static map4 scale, which I think requires very small parameters. Transform. And I think it also requires the new, let's say, a vector free as well. And again, when it comes to changing scales of stuff, it's actually very simple to modify a scale of something. As I've described, it is very easy to increase and decrease the size of something. This is how you would do it. Yeah, it's that easy, guys. However, of course, it would be much more efficient to use this wordless code to have to deal with and so on. So in reality, we can remove this and just replace it with a scale instead. Map4 transform is equal to map for 1 point. Then go Actually, creating a new transformation every time is pretty slow, but oh, it doesn't matter right now. We got scale, and then go pass for the transform, and the vector. Yeah, our constant vector. In this case, we'll go vector 3, and we will pass for the new scale, which in this case should be 0.5f, 0.5f, and 1.f if I remember correctly. That's how you scale stuff, and then afterwards we in reality just need to call this, because this determines the scale of that, but I don't actually remember. Is that how you do it? No, you can leave 0.5 if you want to. Actually, this will just modify it to be 0.5 as well, so it's fine. We can do that with no real problems. Now, that's just a simple way that we can do this. Not much to say here, but for this one, of course, we have the test, which in this case is going to be const map 4. And a free that's it. It returns the fire transformation, and we also need to do that here after its parameters. So quickly returns transformation. That's it. I still don't know exactly what this does, but for the time being, if we can just get something, I could want to test something. What happened? Oh, I know why. It's because it couldn't detect this step. But now, and does the scale function still work? Let's check. No, it's broken. Oh, it's because we set the color. By default, the object scale is that, and what we want to pass for is the object scale. So I'll go object scale 0, object scale 1, and object scale 2. These are vectors, right? No, they're flats. Why is this the... Why? Why can't we stretch it out? We'll just pass for object scale for now. There we go. And also, instead of doing the color, we'll do the texture. Okay. As that's what we in reality want to change the scale of. Okay, oh, it can't find the transformation. It's because we didn't update that one to be compatible. See, I forgot to update this one. So our transformation is currently this. Luckily, it's quite easy to fix. It's just a couple of lines of code that we need to change. That's it. Oh. There we go. A lot simpler now, and there we go, we can run now. Yeah, it should work fine. Yeah, okay, it starts out at 5. Oh no, nothing is there now. Actually, nothing there. Why is this the case? it is able to find it. So is the object scale oh, right, it is static, so we can modify it. It doesn't get stuck. What is this? This is the minimum and maximum. Okay. GL map 4. Scale. Yeah, we pass for object scale, and then we set the transformation right there. I don't know, it should work fine. It's weird. Yeah, this is what we need to do. I don't know how it's not working. So again, we should be able to do stuff if you want to. It's not working. This is the local variable, so this shouldn't be a problem with here. No, obviously it should be fine. I do wonder what that does still, because when we create it, we do what's it to one? Okay, this again moves the thing. It's what the fuck does that mean? Alright, so V, I assume, determines the projection, how far away it should be displayed. And 1 is just the default. Okay. I don't know why that should cause any problems, but clearly the scale function does not work correctly. And I don't know why. I mean, it's not that it doesn't work correctly. We used it before and it worked just fine. I assume passing through the same float is causing some problems. I don't know how, but it is. However, what I can manage to determine is that I can set this one to 0.5, and this one to 0.5, and watch. It will now display. No, it won't. It's because I haven't modified the slider yet. No, it will not. Interesting. Alright, now it's literally only 0.5F that we're dealing with. Alright, now it's not displaying anything. I wonder why. Object scale is so strange. I mean, if we go look at this, it's identical, right? Because if there's an issue here, there could be why. The fragment shader has nothing to do with this. It's all vertex shader and all things. So we got our layout, A plus atex core, out vec 2, out vec 4, uniform, and then we go down and do these two things. It's literally the same, just with a few differences. So yeah. Why it's not working is a good question, but it should work. However, in reality, could it have something to do? No, but this is a texture shader program, or first object already attaches to the texture shader program. Why it's not being rendered though is the question. Like if I go and take this code and I went out and I put it right below here, would it work fine? Good question. It's gonna run into an error as soon as I modify one of these. Watch. No. Alright, triangle nothing is working anymore. I don't know what I did, but let's just comment out this function, this if statement. And then let's hope that everything works again. Oh no, what a fucking day. This is bad, this is really bad. Everything was working just a minute ago, but then I updated the documentation and now nothing works. Why? So translate, I can translate the position. It's not that's the problem. It's not throwing any, I mean, it is throwing a couple of errors, but well, read the errors. Maybe they contain some important information, or rather the warnings that we get. Problem is, we don't get any errors, we only get warnings. If you're going to our error list, only warnings. So that should not cause any problems. Let's see. I mean, we all use GLM stuff here. Although it seems to all stop working after I removed a couple of functions from here. Although it's hard to undo now. Don't open up Discord, please. Learn OpenGL. Okay, I assume we need this line. So, yeah. Oh, here we go, we do this. So we do need to use this. However, once we get down here, we don't use it anymore. So, yeah, code is not working correctly anymore. Let's see, what's the source code? There we go. Here we go. Yeah, see, it stops using it, so it should not be a problem. It might be because it's using the wrong shader. Due to the fact that we use multiple shaders here, it could get confused. Why now? I don't know, but we would be safe off to just make sure that we tell, yeah, it's using the color shader program. But in this case specifically, it shouldn't matter as we tell it what program we want to modify. And we even give it the ID and so on. So in reality, it doesn't actually make any sense. Although, if I go back here and scroll up, it does tell us to use a value pointer, so maybe if we do that, it will be fixed. Go. Okay. Value pointer. Very important. Potentially. In this case, GLM. No, in this case, it doesn't seem to be necessary for us to do that. Wait, why is transform a float? Yeah, GLM mat for. This takes in a float. Anyways, I figured out why we need this variable up here. Oh, technically we don't need it, but yeah, we'll just include it and see if things work. Alright. Undo. That doesn't seem to be necessary. So when we go up here, we draw stuff before we go do anything else with the object stuff. Okay. Go. Although this does not seem to be much of a help, as I don't know how to use it. I mean, we can search for this line, right? There's a search functionality. How the fuck do you bring it up? Control S. No, it's supposed to say control. Oh, here we go. It's not there. Okay, great. So it's not here anywhere. And if I go control F and I go, let's say, search for. Oh yeah, it does find it. So it can search for the lines on this page. So it's not included anywhere, meaning that it shouldn't matter. But yeah. So, but the thing is, we already set the thing equal to that here. So yeah, it's very confusing why it's not working anymore. Oh, if we could just get it to display, that would be nice, but that doesn't even seem to be possible. So I'm gonna remove this as well. The only places where we do any kind of or use GL. If it does not render, it's probably a sign that something went wrong with the. Okay, it doesn't render anything. Good sign that something went wrong somewhere. So yeah, wherever that is, I don't know, but it's somewhere here. You know, you remember when we modified stuff down here? Maybe that's the cause. Good news is how easily we can bring it back. This. But that still should not cause any problems. Let me just undo stuff until eventually stuff works. Alright. It was after we modified this that things started to really break. And terminal cubic.h. And now it uses the old system, right? Yeah, it does. I guess switching to, oh yeah, there we go, it works now. For some reason the objects is rendered incorrectly. I don't know why they did not appear anymore. I guess the reason is probably due to the fact that they don't work so well. Oh wait, by default the position could be outside of the thing. 0, 0, 0. That might be outside. Right, so once we modify this and we make this scale thing a what? A German. We could also just have a static variable for this that we can set every time. Maybe that makes more sense. So have like a new variable each time we defined here. So like right here. And then just have it be modified every time to be equal to this. and then we will not set it, but we'll just do this. Then each time we want to set it, we can just go transform is equal to mat -gl mat for 1.0, like that. For let's try this. I think this is still rendering. You can still move the objects around. Oh wait, that's probably because this one was 0, which usually stops the object from rendering. Change this to 1, it should work with. No, object's still not rendering for some reason. That's strange, but not. But at least so far it seems to be working. We could also put them all at like maybe 0, 0, 0 is outside of the coordinate space. So let's go 0.5 and 0.5, and then let's go 1. That might render it within. Oh, and another thing, it's probably because of this right here. This is not called for the first time, so that causes it to not be rendered. The only problem is that it should use its default position here, so it shouldn't matter in this case. So in this case specifically, this should not matter. And we do create different VAOs, VBOs, and EBOs for these. So on this case, we don't use EBOs, we just use VOs and VBOs. So in theory, yeah, this should work. Let me check. Nobody is. Alright. That's really triangle to render, so that's nice. Actually, it could be that we set the position first and then the scale. Although in that case it needs to be true, so I think that's unlikely. I don't know. Forward transform. Object scale. Let's go in. Let's go. Is equal to. Although in this case, can't we? No, we have to do it that way. Mat dash dash scale, and then afterwards we can go to this. The texture program. Although in this case we've undone that as well. That might actually be why it's broken, but we'll see. Texture shit program, yeah. Scale, we should write the transform and a vector free containing object scale, object scale, and object scale. That's it. Done. We also need to add the transform, but I'm not actually sure if that's what's causing the problem. Things are still rendering, it's still able to move them around. Clearly things are working. Let's add the transformations in now. So we can confirm that it will properly work. Right here. Then go copy this. Put that inside. Okay. 1. Alright, that's what's causing the problem. I guess having... Oh no, this is still working fine. That is very fucking strange. You can barely see it. Oh. Alright. Why is this the case? I have no idea. My guess is it's probably something to do with what shader program that we're using. Although we do pass. Oh, I know why. When we go down here, we go to set this. Oh no, but doesn't this modify the shader program that we're currently using? If we go into the internal C++, shouldn't this modify and shouldn't this set the No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does. Right, it gets it from that. But maybe it needs to use the correct shader program. That could be a problem. So inherently this could, if I go up here, we render the color shader program. So it thinks it's the color shader program. The only way to really fix this would be to go in here, and to check this would be to go text shader program dot use. And if it fixes itself, then we know that's the reason. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, well, this works fine. Oh, there we go. It seems to do it. It's just because we gotta use stuff. So right here, once we get to we won't say they want to use this, so everything works properly. Although it's still weird to me why they're not displayed by default, because by default they do have something. But at least we figured out that was the reason. So now we can go and use, and here we'll go color use. Just to avoid anything else breaking. Now it's the question about why it does not display. I have no idea why. We draw the things that we use right here, so for it to not display is strange. It uses one EBO, but it shouldn't really matter that it's showing the same EBO. I don't think that necessarily matters. What causes it to not display is the real question. Maybe we should make this static, because in reality we modify it every time here, so yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's static or not. Well, for the time being, that's not what we're worried about. Why does it not display by default? We only modify the object color of one of these. So why does this not work? Thing is, we doesn't modify its object position or anything until afterwards. So when we create them, it should just spawn in with the default position, but it does not. Okay, a little test that I want to do is that if I press just like this, no, you gotta modify it. Oops, configure that here. If we just modify it slightly, it spawns in, even though it really shouldn't. So yeah, oh, it doesn't become a launch either. So something is preventing them from being rendered properly, and I can't quite tell you why. Clearly it has nothing to do with the GUI, because if it was overlaying somehow, it would be displayed. It would not display it at all. So yeah, why could it not render such things? Interesting. GL mat 4. This is so stupid. Like what? My guess is that gotta pass through some oh, I know. It's because we have nothing to times transform. Transform is equal to none, so we gotta give it something. By default, we can just pass through that. So when we draw it, before we draw it, we can go up here while we create the VPL. Actually, it should be in the shader programs probably. Where we go and create, or first one, set the thing. So here in the C++ file, we go down to mat, and we just go and pass one of these through. So we go refine it. For some reason it doesn't do that here, but yeah, okay, we need to go through another part of the script to find the correct one. This one. It does actually use value pointer. So, but this is what we want to do. We want to do this part right here. And we want to do it up here. So by default, I'll just go do that with these ones. So this is the texture shader. We'll go to this part. Shader program should just be a shader program, and the uniform name in this case is transform. Oh, wait. We can actually just duplicate the code, can't we? We can go down here. We don't actually need to use this large piece of code. We can just go copy and paste this. And pass for a transform, of course. Although, in reality, before we even render the triangles, we could just do it when we decide to render the triangles. But at the same time, they would reset the triangles every time, so we would probably want to do it somewhat like here. And the transform in this case should be GL4 and just pass 1.0. Now copy this and put it up in our color sheet as well before we go do anything else. This should be texture program. This should be the color shader. And everything should be fine now. Why is it still not working? We passed through one, so it would work. This is what we passed through. The one that's necessary to make sure that it renders properly. We don't pass it through anything else because we don't really need to. I would think this would work, but no. And this is after we have set to use that, because else it will not work for some reason. Shader program use texture shader. Actually, we can just for quick test this. Oh, that's why. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay, great. I figured it out. Here we go. Text shader program use. That is an important note. Here we go. Scroll down, put that there. Awesome. So everything works again. Just a thing. Oh, it does change its size significantly. In theory, we no longer need the positions. We can just leave it at 0, 0, 0 every time because we can modify. I do wonder though, since now we can test around with stuff, what would happen if we were to increase how high it can go to, let's say, the position can go to 2. I mean, in this case, it would just continue to move, right? No, it would actually completely disappear. Oh, actually no. Oh, this will, because it's no longer there. But it would actually just move it out of the view entirely. Oh, that's the point, I guess. 2 will completely move it out of the view. Right. As for size, this is what I'm mainly interested in. What happens if we go to 2? Because currently we can set it down to 0 if we wanted to. Oh, it continues to scale. That's pretty cool. So it can go from 0 to 2, 2 being the maximum size in this window that we can go to. Anything higher than that, no, not allowed to go higher. Pretty good. We could implement rotations as well, of course, but everything seems to work now. So we can start working on our next thing, which is going to be our cubic docs. We got the internal stuff done for the time being. I'm not going to go into 3D stuff yet. It is quite complicated. But what I want to do is try to see if we can, again, coordinate systems when we start to go into 3D stuff. So, yeah, I want to wait with that for a bit. How long have I been live? For about an hour and a half now. Okay, I'll be live for like another half hour. Anyways, so what I want to go in and do is that I want to reduce the size of this file. Currently it's 350 lines, and if we could get this down to like 100 lines or something, that would be amazing. And the simple truth is that a lot of this stuff could be handled with a few simple classes. Like if we had an object, The window class, as an example, we could handle a lot of this stuff with a simple class that could do this for us. Now the window and init functions are not what's taking up a huge amount of the code. It's only taking up about 100 lines. So again, if we could reduce this down to way less, but again, stuff like the color shader and color programs and so on, that takes up a lot of lines of code. And stuff like textures, actually textures in this case is not so long. It just creates and loads textures, so in reality, it doesn't take a huge amount of time. But a lot of this could be automated. Or at least we could create an object that could handle this for us. So this is what the cubic header here is what to do. So what we'll do is that we'll I don't know, what did we do in the internal page? Did we just start creating stuff? Oh yeah, this is where we import stuff. So here we want to make sure I have a pragma once correctly, and then we want to include internal cubic.h. That's it. Now we can start creating stuff. So the next step would be to start creating stuff. And the first thing we want to create is an object class. This class should allow us to create objects and so on. We will not handle the main loop inside of this. This will just be a test script for some. This will just be another abstraction layer from a really low-level internal API that we currently are using. So imagine this is another abstraction layer currently, because I want to do that right now, and I think it would be interesting. So our object, when we create it, we need to do a lot of things. First of all, we will need to create the VBOs and VBOs for it. So we'll have a object constructor here. So if we will go open up our cubic.c++, we will have a object and this will be our object class, and that's it. That's how it will be the internal one first. This the class. There we go. So this will be where we'll create and do stuff with objects. So inside of here, we will need to create a VBO, a VAO, and VBO. It will not contain any information about cameras or anything, although we could create a simple camera class that could handle a lot of this. So if we wanted to, it wouldn't take a huge amount of time to do that. So again, if we wanted to, we could create a simple camera class too next time. So yeah, but for the time being, inside here we need to create a VAO. So we'll go VAO. We'll create some variables for this. Public we'll have some private stuff here. Private. We'll have a VO, VO, VBO, VBO, VO, VBO, and that'll be it. Although technically these classes, I don't think we necessarily need that. Yeah, we probably will need them at some point. So yeah. Then afterwards we need shader programs. So the shader stuff will need to get us parameters for the object, what shader program they're going to be using. But luckily we can pretty well simplify this, because instead of including the shaders here, we will just have the shaders be selected from here. So I'll collect all of the shaders that we have here, and then I'll transfer them to cubic.c++ or cubic.h file. Although nothing really needs to access these, so technically this should be fine. So we don't want anything to access these shaders for the time being. So by default, the parameters should just be let's see, whether is it that you define the okay. So we want the shader to be equal to we should ask it, hey, what will use color, and this determines if we're using a color or a texture. Although technically, can't we use a template for this? So if we go include templates .h. This should be fine. Isn't there something called template.h? I don't know. I forgot. Well, there should be something like templates. Plate. How is it that templates work again? I forgot. Yeah, okay. So the template in this case determines the type name T of the class. So I will call this T and call it object type. So this is the type of data that we want to pass through. So we'll have a two separate classes for color objects. I'll call it color. Well, that technically would result in confliction stuff. So we'll just call it class. In this case, it's not something that we really need to access anywhere else. So just get back here. Object is still valid, right? Yeah, but it requires the object type. Then we'll create the classes that we need here. As we are not really using it outside of a color object. Although we can't do this actually, I remember now. We have to do it in the class. Let's just do color object. Let's do a class, call it texture object. And inside of these, we of course want to have a color object And same with the texture object. We don't want to find view. And this should contain information like the we want a color, and now I'm going to go do something that switch around these two. Here, I'll go make these into classes because I'm kind of annoyed that they're not classes. Class. It shouldn't change anything really, except for a few things will now break, probably. Class. The color can become a class as well. Now, everything else will work just fine. Just these will no longer work. If I go in under main, there's going to be a lot of errors now. Okay, this is because we don't have the default ones. But our main problem currently is not that. It is down where we create these. These now are equal to color. Well, technically, I guess not color, but just color. Although why is this throwing errors? Is inaccessible. Oh, that's because. Why is it inaccessible? It's public, isn't it? Oh yeah, I forgot to do public. That's why. Internal H public. All of this stuff public. 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 And we're done. That should handle that. So yeah, we still have this thing, but for the time being, let's fix main. So this is now valid. Let's see. There's a bunch of other places that's going to have errors too, although it's actually no, that was the only place where we used them. Oh, these ones. They now are just this. It's strange it doesn't for errors here, but alright. Oh wait, I did not have to delete that entire thing. Just this. Here we go. Here's another one. Go. And do this instead. So it's valid code. And then do this as well here. That should be it though. So yeah, I'm surprised there isn't many places where I actually use this. Thought there would be more. So yeah, this is it for now, I think. We still have to finish the internal API or the new external API. What we will also want is the information about this. So we'll go. Can we do this? I don't actually know. T E. No, this is not valid. Class member template. No, that will make T invalid. Oh, you can do that. I mean, it doesn't look as good, but let's see. Why do we have T here? Oh, we can use T for to refer to the same value. That's interesting. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna go dual now. There we go. And there we go. Now it's valid. Alright. So I don't care right now. IntelliSense, can you please leave me alone? Close. What are you doing, what? Note. Argument. Reset to defaults. Instead. What? T is equal to. Oh, wait. Why does it appear? Oh, it's whenever I'm editing it. I don't know what T is equal to. No. Add all existing. Oh no, it's freezing. Oh, it crashed. Come on. VS Code is so shit that it says, oh my, fuck you. God, why can't I remove this? Alright, there we go. Thank you. T, object. Let's just call it the object type. Now in this case, this is just what we have. Now these ones are going to contain the important stuff. So for here we need to know the file name, the cons file name that we want to edit. They want to add. And that's about it. We'll figure out the rest of the stuff on our own. But for the time being, let's go and write the documentation. So we got hashtag. It's called color object. Objects. Then we got object right there, which currently takes in the color. Color, I think it's called, right? It's the yeah, color. And then finally the parameters, which in this case would be color object. Now what we need to do next is that we need to go there's the texture object, there's a texture object, and we got a default constructor called texture object. Then after this we have object. Objects. And it has a object constructor which takes a T. In this case, I assume it would be nice to include the template that it uses, even though I think I'm gonna do it anyways, just in case. Or to put this object. Oh wait, I gotta include the class. Oh no, this is not a class. This is a class. This is a class, and there we go. T object type. And that's it for now. Object. Alright, this is by the way public. Object type that is either color object or texture object. And that's it. That's all we got so far now. Oh yeah, we also got some private stuff. Private, let's see if we got the VAO. Object. BBO. Finally, private DBO. So far, I think we might just have the color and texture object classes handle this. So, yeah. Though. Oh yeah, okay, that's for sure. And then of course the private T object type. Is there a way to get the object get name of type template? The solution is type ID t.name. Good. This is better than like a majority of languages, you know. I think in C#, good luck doing something like that. I heard it's really hard, but C++ is nice and easy sometimes. This is why you use C++ for stuff like this. It's just you can easily write code that probably isn't good, but works. Anyways, the type of object used. I mean, we could have two separate classes and have the object class be the base class. That would in theory work, but and that could be how it will end up being in the final version. But for the time being, this is not how we're gonna do it. Although, again, both ways would technically work. In fact, it's probably how we would want to do it in this case. Because then we don't need to have as much code, like the type object and so on would be unnecessary if we're just going to use it as a base for everything. So in theory, this would probably work a lot better if it's just the class itself that handles basic object stuff. So in this case, when we go down to the internal or the cubic.h, instead of having a type here, we can just go have a class instead and go, you don't have anything here and you don't exist. And then we will go position object above here as being the public object, as being the base class for a bunch of other things. It just contains basic stuff about every object, which should be how we should probably want to do this. So yeah, instead we'll make them inherent from that. And we'll go a public object and public object. And that's it. So yeah. Also, it makes your code somewhat easier to read. Actually, that shouldn't matter in this case. But it just makes it easier for the average person to use, because there isn't as much stuff here that you need to remember. You know, it kind of encapsulates the code better by doing it this way. As you don't need to specify the type of object every object is. And hey, if you don't want the color or texture object, you can just go with the normal default object, and you'll have to write a bunch of code yourself, but still, you can do that. So there's a preview button. I think that's, oh, whoa, I didn't know that. Hey, I learned something new. They have a preview button. How the fuck did I know this? Well, now I know. Anyways, for the class object, it is the same thing here. We want to do that. Yeah. color, can't show file name. Alright. So far it's looking pretty good. So the next thing is the object here. Of course we also need the public stuff here. Public. Oh yeah, also, one other thing that I forgot to do was go inside here and make these public. And in the, here we go, I need to now go previous in this area. I need to scroll up now and go, here we go. These are now classes. Class and variables. We now have just separate ones. There's this one. Color. Next one. Oh, Okay, actually, it's a constructor. Also, all of these needs to be public now. And the constructor needs to be first. There we go. Same here. We'll go. Go copy this here. Go make it public. Give me a no. Public. Where's vector 4? I guess we don't really use vector 4 anywhere, but we should still add it here. Just go, I gotta remember to copy this entire thing. Public. Why is this public? It should be class. Public. Float. Yeah, it should be that. Okay. Yeah, we can delete all of this basically. So that should be it for the vector. I don't think there's anywhere where we use vector 4, right? So we might as well remove them. They were used one place, that was it. So let's just go and remove them. We don't have reason to keep them around. Yeah, here. Oh, never mind, we do use them somewhere. It's one place where we use them, really. So. But still, now we need to include in the documentation. Class vector 4. Why is it called vector 3 here? Come on, stop. Vector 3. Why are these not public? Public. Class vector 4. Public. Vector 4. Float underscore. Next float underscore y. Float underscore z. And float underscore w, which is what you want to use. Constructor for class, and then afterwards its parameters would be float underscore x. Underscore set. That's what we're going to use. We just Isn't the V that represents let me see, Mungo's coordinate? Isn't this what represents V, right? Yeah, V is the dimensions distance from the protector to screen. So not really a coordinate, but more the in this case technically would be a coordinate, but I'm just gonna really and color there. Then afterwards we have some public X. Oh wait, we gotta make sure that we tell it it's a float. That's it. That should handle vector 4. There should be a space between them still. That's it. Back in here, we want to go up to our vector 3 and change this to W, 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 and W. There. Should be it. There shouldn't be anything else here that we've not done yet, so everything else looks fine now. Alright, good, we're done now. That was something I really wanted to go and do. So the next thing that we want to go and do now is that in our cubic.h we have our stuff, distributed construct file name. Of course, we haven't added any code yet, but that's what I think we'll start doing next time. Yeah, construct file name. Or we can just call it like file or something like that. I think that would be a bit simpler. File. We could go open up cubic.cpp and then just go. We have all of our shader stuff here. Go. Shouldn't we name these color object? Color object. Object. No. Color object. Color object. Color. And then also we have a texture object. Then go, we need a construct file. We'll call it. Change this to object. And now we can go and update the documentation. Color object, texture object, texture object. Texture object, color object. There you go. So, that's it for now. The file, containing the image. There we go. Oh, actually. call it texture in this case. Texture. Done. So that's it for now. I'll go commit this to the GitHub repository. Commit stash. Let's see. That should be it. So, yeah. Good. This is what we'll be working on next time, I think. It's called file here, and it's called file here. We could change it to file path or something like that. Should we do it? File path. Let's see, quick docs, file path. Just because I think that would be slightly more understandable. If we do it here, then we should do that here. File path. No errors. Wait. Come on. No errors. No errors. This is no errors of the entire solution. Let me go here. It's called file path. File path. Okay, good. It's committed then. It's just a push button. Yeah, push. I'm gonna go view the thing on the where is it? Why is it not here? Should I make this a public repo? I don't think I'll get far enough, but I'll rename it to something else if I don't get there. I think for the time being, I will probably just leave it public or private, but later on, once I get a bit further, I'll probably make it public. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a GUI yet. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. We got a bit more work done today, and yeah, I'll try to figure out what the fuck these errors are, maybe fix them later. I mean, they're all the same basically, so yeah. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, I know why. Yeah, okay. I think I know why. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.